Hey, everybody, welcome back. This week we're going to talk about this Arcdroid I've had for about a year and a half, and I haven't done as much as I would like to do with it, and I'm still learning a lot with it, but I'm going to show you some of the basics about it and um, pretty much just show you a few things. Part of this video will have me cutting out an engine mount for the golf cart, and I was going to put it on the video for the golf cart, but I didn't get as far on the golf cart as I wanted to, so I'm gonna wait in there for the next episode to do that, and I'll cut this portion out of showing you guys all that on that video, so that way that video is not super long. So some of the stuff I've done with it, I've done um, some real basic stuff from shock root mounts to engine mounts. I made a seat for a couple of these stools I did. Didn't really, the way I had them mounted, I didn't really like them, but I still like the idea of it, so I'm gonna still play around with those. And I even cut out these flowers, these roses that I made for my wife, and I actually painted them, and I've sold some of them too. This thing will cut out anything that will conduct. You can hook up a ground to anything that your plasma cutter will hook up to. Some of the people that use this thing actually cut or out in the heavy construction field. If the plasma cutter will cut 3 inches thick, their Arcdroid will do that because it's the design you do is all what the Arcdroid does. All it does is it just holds the torch and just cuts it for the design you want. You set it up for however long it's going to take to go penetrate through that steel, and then it starts cutting. So you can set up the pause for penetration to. You can start a little early, start on the inside of the design where if you don't have to keep it, you start on the, if you start on the inside, the hole here comes out and goes around, makes it for a clean cut. I haven't played with that much because all mine, I'm not really too worried about the looks of it and functionality yet. At some point I will. But with my welder, this is probably pretty close, or my plasma cutter, this is probably pretty close to the thickest I could do here. I could do, I think, not quite half inch, or I could do, I think 3/8 with it. I think that's the thickest I could. It's been pretty happy with everything I've done. I think the company actually puts out updates for it every 6 months or so. They'll add something new to it. I think I'm a couple updates behind right now, just because I haven't been using a whole lot. They also have a new piece for it you can buy separately that actually makes it so you can cut a wider piece, not deeper, but you can go wider. Like right now, this will only do, I think it's 24 by 15 or 16 inches. And with that piece that you can buy, it'll allow it to cut 48 by 15 inches. So it's great to make signs. That'd be great for bigger pieces. But if you're trying to build, cut your own bead lockers out or something like that, you're limited to the size of piece you want unless you cut it, do it in halves. And with that wouldn't be bad if you can actually get onto a CAD program. This will allow you to upload stuff from different CAD programs. I forget which one I'm using. I'll have to look it up, and I'll put it in the video a little bit later on which one I'm using. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys the tracing function on it. We'll probably just trace one of these brackets out. And then we'll go with the whole startup. And when you turn it on, the calibration to just getting it ready to trace and then cut. And we won't do any cutting right in this section, but later on in the video you'll see me do some cutting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this on. Okay, so that's the screen that pops up with. And what we'll do is we'll take the arm, pull it out here, see that there's no green dot on the screen of it. And we'll say here, you go home. And as you can see, it goes, we'll hit. And that green dot right there is indicating where the torch is. So what we'll do is we're going to pull this out. See how when the arm comes out, the green dot moves. What we'll do is we'll pull the torch off, store that away. We're going to get the stylus out. And plug that in. And then you see how this went from lightning bolt to stylus. That's saying that it's ready to go. And then the red light turned on the pin. So what we'll do is we'll get a piece of metal out. We're going to go some thick stuff right now. I haven't actually tried cutting this thick yet. I'm afraid it's too thick for my cutting torch right now. But we can, one of these days we'll give it a try. So we'll get the gauge here and see what size it is real quick. It's probably 5/8 because the biggest number my gauge goes is 5/16. Well, not 5/8. It's probably what would that be? Half inch maybe. So I guess let's get a tape measure out. It's 3/8. So the thickest I've done before is 1/4 inch. So okay, so what we'll do, I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna turn the light on real quick. There you go. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're going to find where you want to start cutting that. So this knob here lowers, if you go one way, it lowers the stylus or the torch. If you go the other way, it goes up. So we'll go down. So we finish touch, then we'll come back up a little bit. There you go. So with that, then what we'll do is see how it's the center. The plus sign is the X and Y axis. We want that right where the green dot is. So what we'll do is we'll zero that out and then moves it to right where the green dot is. So now what we'll do is we'll take this piece here, set it on there. And I'm just doing this for to show you guys. But I would actually put this more towards the corner of the piece. So what we'll do is that we can go. We'll take this and go to the very edge of this piece here, and then we'll click that. Oh, wait, we gotta hit trace first, and then You want to have on the curvy line. So that means that it's using the stylus to do it. So we'll take this, click that, then that's the starting. And then since it's a straight line from here, we'll go all the way down. Once it starts curving, hit that, and as it's curving around this, you just want to go a little bit. That way it knows that. And every time you move it slightly, you hit that button, it's making another point of reference. So if you go way out here for some reason, as long as you come back and hit it again, it doesn't see you going out on accident. It will come down here, where it starts curving again. So the tighter, more together you have for the reference on these curves, the tighter it's going to be. So now, since we've gone all the way around it, we'll double click it. It'll pop up here saying, hey, you want that to be a closed loop, and we'll say closed. And it counted 56 points of reference. Then this lead is actually what I was talking about, where you could start at before the cut, and it'll actually penetrate, and then start your cut, and then go around. Some people say it's cleaner, some people don't. And so if you actually had like a straight line and then a curve over this way, you can hit open, you can hit that button, make it open, and it won't connect the first two dots to make a triangle. Or if you wanted the triangle, you could actually go hit close, and it'll automatically close that gap. So now with this one, we're doing the center cut right on the line, or you go to the right of it, to the left of it. We're just going to do it right there. Go hit OK. Now what we'll do is we're going to bring this up. Then we're going to go over here. Try to find the center of this hole. Then what we'll do is we'll come up here and hit the circle. You can make square, octagon, whichever you want to do. These ones down here, or if you want to make like a lug pattern or a bolt pattern in the circle. That way you just make one size, and it'll ask you how many holes you want, how far apart you want, if you want even, not even. This one here, I think it's the same way. I've never messed with this one, but I think it's the same way, but in the straight line. But for now, we're going to do the circle, and either you could double click, or you double click on the red on the stylus, or you could click on the button here, and it'll ask you what size hole you want. So it tells you what we're at on the diagram that it's at, is X and Y. Dimension, let's just say 0.5 inches. So that way it's nice and small there. We'll hit OK. Point of entry. It depends on where on the circle you want to enter. Same thing with the leads, the same way. That one's the same way as before. Or it's right on the line, left or the right of the line. Okay, so if we go up, or if we go down with one finger, we can zoom in on here, just on the side. So that shows you your shape that you have now. So we can actually take that off. So, and then what we'll do is, since we have that, come on. So that's that shape. It's the same everything the other shape. Just trace it out. So now what we can do is we can X out of this. We can hit save, or if for some reason we added a, let's say if we added another, oh wait, with the way that we set everything up, we can hit this part here, and it changes the cut order. Since we did the circle in the middle last, it thinks that we want the outside to be cut first and the inside. So with hitting that 1-2 button there, it's going to ask, hey, do you want to reorganize the cut so you cut everything on the inside first, then cut the outside? So we'll go ahead and order. So now it's going to cut the center hole first and then cut the outside. So that way you don't have a piece sitting here from cutting the outside and it's moving around while you're trying to cut the middle. So we're going to go ahead and hit exit. We're not going to save this. I already have this one saved. But we are going to switch out the stylus for the torch. There is a way to, when you go to do this part, instead of the arm moving a lot like this, there's a way to lock it. I keep on forgetting how to do it, and I keep on forgetting to look it up. So I just don't really worry about it. When you go to first set these up, you have to calibrate everything. And it comes with this rectangle that comes off here, comes back there, and you actually have to put the torch stylus first. You do the torch, and that way the arm sees where everything's at. So maybe one of these days I'll show you guys that too. But for now, we're just going to do this part. So what we'll do is we are going to go ahead and hit run. Right now the torch is off, and the plasma cutter is off anyways. But we're done. Before we do that, if you click on these buttons down here, you can set up what unit you want. You want inches, meters, millimeters. Then the feed rate is how fast it's going. The Z clearance is once it will go down when you hit cut. It'll go down, hit the metal, come back up, and that's what it will write at, is that exact clearance. So if you have a piece of metal that's slightly curved, or sometimes you actually want the entrance to be at the highest point, and then that way when it goes down to the lowest point, it doesn't hit the metal. Because if you come in and start cutting at the lowest point, by the time it hits the upper point, or if you have like an uneven, but once it hits the upper point, it's going to be dragging on the metal. And you don't want that to happen. And I've done that a few times. It ruins tips real bad. But so the clearance Z is that. The piercing clearance is it actually, or let's see here. I'll take it back. The clearance Z is when it's done cutting, it'll raise itself up and go to the next cut or just be done. The piercing clearance is when it goes down, it comes up, and then it actually pierces the metal there, and then it raises up slightly to the cutting surface. And then I never figured out what the kerf is, or the PRC delay. And I think that's the piercing delay. I don't know. And then off delay, I don't know what that's for either. I just put some numbers in there just to see what happened. I think it's maybe the power or the air maybe going on. It comes on 0.5 seconds early, and then it goes off 5 seconds, 0.5 seconds afterwards, just to help cool off or something. I'll play with that later. So with all that, we'll just hit enter. Okay. And then you can watch down here what they are. The system now has it so you can actually do a height change. So like with the uneven metal like I got, or like the cutting surface as uneven like mine is. From all the plasma cutting I've done on it, it's kind of uneven now for bigger pieces. But you can actually do height control, but I haven't downloaded the software for it at all, so it doesn't work on mine. Right now, it just kind of tells you the numbers, and that's it, like where it's at. Like, see how it says TC off. So we're gonna hit play, and then you can see the arm do what it needs to do. Right now, it's lowering down, it rises back up, and then it's cutting the middle hole. Now it's gonna cut the outside hole. So when I get done with the piece like this, I'll hit the, well, first off, what I'll do is I'll actually take the arm and see the green button. If I want to cut another piece, I'll line it up about even with the line where I started and just a little bit farther back. And then I can hit zero that, and it moves it over, and I can hit cut again, and it actually moves it over on the plate. So I don't have to sit here and retrace it every single time. I just have to move it a little bit. So, so that's one way to do it. When I first did this, I never thought about doing that. So I'll sit here and try tracing out 5 of them that I needed. So each one would be different because my hand would be shaking when I'm tracing it, or the lines would just be slightly off, holes would be slightly off, so I'd sit here and grind it for a long time. And now, since I know how to do this, I don't have to trace 4 or 5 of them, or however many I need. I just do one, cut it, move the zeroing point over, and keep on doing that over and over again. So now when the piece is done cutting, I'll hit home, raise it up, I'll move out of the way. Okay, and then I could take a screwdriver or a pair of pliers or something and pop those out and chip away at the slag and grind it down a little bit as I need. So that's how you do like a basic tracing setup. Now, farther on this video, you'll see me that I don't even have the torch out. I have a piece of cardboard out, but with some numbers on it, and that's it. I'm just going in, finding out where my 0 point is, where I want to start at, and then I have measurements. I just go in here, start typing away at what measurements I want, and it puts right where I need it to be. So on that aspect, that's kind of the same thing as getting onto your computer, onto a CAD program, and then you have to mess around on the computer. Then you have to download it onto thumb drives and bring it out here, plug it in, and do the same thing. So I was able to cut out everything I need within a couple minutes instead of going inside, messing with the computer, making sure it works, and then getting it cut out. So that's the thing I like about this Arcdroid, is that since you have at your fingertips, you have a CAD program, a tracing program, everything right here at your fingertips. So you don't have to go mess with the laptop. You don't have to go find schematics somewhere. You get your tape measure out, measure where you want different holes at, different sizes, and you cut out everything you need. So, and you'll see me doing that here in this video also, is doing the same thing. So to me, this Arcdroid is actually a pretty good setup. Even though it's kind of dirty right now, but I've seen people with it really, really sluggish, like not sluggish, but lots of debris everywhere. Biggest thing is also you need to have a support for your cord for the plasma torch, so that way when it actually does come out here, it doesn't, it can actually go the full length. If you let it just dangle, the cable itself is actually on drag on the table, and it'll give it a false reading, like, hey, you caught on something, or hey, that's it, that's as far as I want to go. But when you have it supported like this, it actually could go the full length that it needs to. And so, which is nice. And the white box here is supposed to be the area that it cuts in, but you could go outside that a little bit, not by a lot. I mean, you could probably maybe go a couple inches outside that area and get away with it. But it doesn't want to go fully the lock. It needs to be about right there, a little bit more, something like that, and they could do a decent sized circle all the way around. So I haven't done anything that big yet. I haven't needed to be cutting anything that big. I like to at some point. I would like to do some bead lockers, or even I thought about doing bead lockers for the golf cart, so that way it'll match the race rig. They won't be usable. They'll just be there for cosmetic use. So hope you guys enjoy this video and keep watching. We came in here, turn the machine on, move the arm, pull the arm out, hit the home button. Tested all the sensors. Everything's good. We moved the arm to the edge of the plate over there, as you can see right there. And I put it on 0, hit the 0 button, and now we're into the trace screen. So what we'll do is we're just going to hit this, making a square right there. We're going to start right where it's at. Then we're going to change the width to, see here, I think we want 9 inches. See, nope, we want that one to be 18 inches. Then the height will be the 9 inches. Then we're going to change, see how it's way up where see that right there, that line there is the machine. So we can't go that far. So we have to change the origin and move it so that way it's down here a little ways. So as long as it's in this white box, that's the size it'll cut. So we have that. This button here is for a center cut where you want right on the line. You go to the right of the line, the left of the line, or right in the center. So we'll have it enter right there. And then all we'll do is we'll hit OK. Okay. Then we'll go back here. And we don't want to save it. If you wanted to save it on the thumb drive here, we say keep, and then we can keep it. Let's exit. And then plasma cutter off. That's the lightning bolt with the symbol through it. That means the plasma cutter's off. And this material is kind of thicker, so we have the feed speed lower. And we're going to hit run. And we will see how our lineup is on the piece. As long as it stays on the metal, we will begin. And what I mean by staying on the metal is if it drops off the edge here, they'll say it's not seeing what it needs to see, so it won't continue to cut or it won't have a good ground. And then with us being level, we want to make sure this edge here is straight with this. And so we want to make sure it's not going to go off that line. And it's staying right there, right on the edge of it. Okay. So we're going to stop this. We'll tell it to go home. Okay. Well, then Angry gets back down to the screen. So I hit that middle a few times. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to trace, tap on the line. Then once you tap it just right, you get this little box that has a pencil on it. And that's editing. I'm going to click on that. You're trying to figure out where it's coming off from. So it says enter area has an arrow. So that means it's coming in right there, which we want to hit one more time. It's on enter right there. If they enter right there, that corner of the board, that corner of the plate is the one that's sitting up the highest. And so as it gets over here, it won't hit here either. There is a software update that I can go in and do height control, and I'll actually gauge it, but I haven't needed it so far, so I'm not really wanting to do it. So we're going to run this one more time. Okay. We're going to go ahead and turn on the plasma cutter. And then we want to make sure the ground is hooked up, which it is. Position you guys just right so you can watch the whole thing, huh? Yeah, now we're going to hit run. And folks, just like that. So, just like that. What I do now is just take a punch, go along and get all the edges cleaned up. Okay. So now the next step is going to get do the same thing with just tracing the hole, moving the holes, putting the holes for the motor in. Okay, so what we'll do next, if I remember right, is that we're going to go in here and hit trace, and then we're going to put Let's see here. Just a second. Okay, so we're going to try a couple different things. We're going to try to go here, add a line. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and click that and then find out what the X and Y is. So the X is on this side of the line and the Y is going up. So the X is this way, Y is this way. Since we're on this side, the negative side, there's a negative there. So what we want to do, we're going to I'm going to shut the air compressor off first. So what we want to do is double check our measurements real quick. Okay. So what we want to do is we're going to go 1 inch from that side. So we want to go 1.0, enter. Then we're going to go with this next one. Wait. Oh, yeah. We're going to go down. So we're going to go negative. What was it? Negative. Then we're going to go negative 4 inches. That. Then the width, we will do 1/2 inch, 0.5 to the height of 3/8. What we'll do is we'll come over here to this chart and find 3/8, which is 0.375. 0.375. It doesn't seem right. That does not seem right at all. No, that is right. Okay. Yep. Okay. So we got that there. Oops. 37. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to go pull this, zoom this in, pull over. Okay, so yeah, we want to go bigger than 1/2 inch. I'm going to go 0.75. There we go. Okay, now we're on curve. Then the corners, we want to go like an 8. What we'll do is we'll take this square, make it round. So that way it's like a oval, but that's not quite enough though. So we're gonna go 0.375. There you go. That's what we want. 1/8 inch. Oh, wait. No. 0.375. No. Well, that's all it's gonna give us is a 1.88. The 0.188, which is 3/16. So that's all we gotta do. We gotta make sure it's cut on the center, origins, whichever. So now we just have to remember that. If the width is 0.750, height 0.375, and the curve is 0.188. So that way we can make all these the exact same. So let's see here. Origin, I think we want right dead in the center. That's where we want, right there. That has a plus. There you go, right in the middle. Okay, that's the first one. And now, back up here, then we're going to do another one. Same thing, we'll curve it, 0.188, there's that. But we're going to change the X to, what did I say? I don't remember. Shit. Let's just get out of this real quick. Exit. Oops. Okay. So the X on first one is 1.0. Y is negative 4.0. That's that one. Then we need to go. Yeah, that's fine. Or click another one. Well, the next one is 3 inches. 3. Yeah, about 3. 3 inches for that. So we'll go. No. Negative 7.0. Negative. So then, so Y will be 7.0, like that. So we already got these two done. I added from here to there, it's 6.5 inches. So I added that to the one, and from here, yeah. So from the y-axis this way down, we are 4 inches because it's backwards from what this is laying. So this was actually going to be like that. So confusing you, and I'm confusing myself. So now we'll get back to this screen. We're on the right one there. Made another one. So next. What? Okay, there we go. Got all those done. And there is one up here. There is one up there. Oh, maybe that's where I'm at 0 that. Okay. So what we want to do, we're going to put that green dot right on the middle there. And then, so that green dot is right in the middle. So what we want to do is we need to line up this piece here, right there in the center. Just like that. There. That's it. So we'll send her home. That sucks. First one that cut. Apparently it was the second one that cut. Oh, we hit stop. Home. Yeah. Okay, so you guys just got done watching me do some work on the Arcdroid. I hope you guys enjoyed it. To me, it's a fun machine. It's fun to learn. It takes a little bit to get used to. It's a trial and error. Like this box right here that I have for the transmission. Transmission for the golf cart was one of the first things I built with that Arcdroid. I cut out the holes, just cut out each piece and welded together. It's off quite a bit because I was using that tracing feature instead of actually using the hole size that needed to be. I would just like, oh, what's this? And just trace the hole that was in the cardboard. So that didn't work out too well for me. I don't know what happened to... Oh, this other piece here that I built for the engine and transmission to sit in the holes aren't lined up very good. And I tried. This is another first piece. One of the first pieces I cut with. I actually cut this one before I did the transmission box with the Arcdroid, and I think this was the very first piece I actually cut with it, because I didn't know everything about it. Excuse me. So I'm still learning. I'm still trying to learn a lot with it. Every time I use it, I find something else about. I follow the Facebook page that they have, and people always bring cool stuff up there that they've done, they've built. They use Cat 360. That's what I use. They have a learning subscription one that's on there that's free. That's good for 3 years. It's not pro, so you don't get access to everything. If you want to get access to everything, you got to pay for it. A couple $100, I think, a year or whatever it is. I'm still learning. I've been messing with it for over a year now. I don't get a lot of time on it. I try to mess with it a little bit. I get frustrated. I move on to something else. Or I've designed something and I put it on a thumb drive and I don't get a chance to come out here and mess with it. I don't get a chance to plug it in. I lose the thumb drive or I misplace it or something. Or I get really, really close to being done with the design, and with that 360, you have to invert the picture to a cutting picture, cutting the outline of everything. And so when I do that, it does something wrong. And so I'm still trying to learn that. I'm still trying to take practice. I failed on it several times. I tried making these little Jeep keychain things that were cut out metal but when I did it, it was too small, and I had the torch and the air turned up too high, and it just blew all the Jeep leathers out of it and made just one big round piece, and that was it. So I'm not giving up on it. I'm not keep on trying. I just haven't had a chance to do it. But when I'm out here working, I need something built, like a bracket or something, like I did on the race rig where I built the shock towers. I just built everything out of cardboard, came over here, traced it out real quick, and cut it. With it being right here, right in my shop, it's designed to get dirty. It's designed to be dusty. All it says for maintenance is you can lubricate it a little bit, and then there's a couple gears and a belt inside that you have to adjust it every now and then. So it's very user friendly when you want it to be. I'm not use that very strongly. When you want it to be user friendly, it is. If you lose patience on something like that, on it, just walk away for a little bit and come back and try it again. Do some research. Watch other people doing it. There's lots of videos out there with people using this now. I watched the video a couple days ago. Some guy, he's a mobile service mechanic, and he was he was installing a fifth wheel plate or a gooseneck plate ball on the back of a guy's truck. Well, he pulled the bed off, and he had marked where the ball's on go, and he pulled the bed off. He put the Arcdroid inside the bed and cut the hole. I was like, holy crap, that's pretty impressive to me. I mean, he had the plasma cutter sitting there, just a little tiny mobile air compressor. It was enough to cut that sheet metal. So he didn't have a hole saw big enough, so he used that instead. That's pretty cool to me. I've seen it where they're on, like I said earlier, on big construction sites where they're cutting 3, 4, 5-inch thick steel, building big eye hoops and excavators for new pens. There's a lot you can do with this, and it's very mobile. And they show how they keep it mobile, and people put like Pelican cases to keep it in the mobile service trucks. They keep it on the shelf. Like, I can take this down within minutes and put it on my shelf when it's in my way. Like, when I go to do the transfer case in my truck, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tear all this down so my workbench is nice and cleaned off. But I when I'm doing fabrication work, I'd like to keep it out in case I need that bracket. Just quick and simple. So I think that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great next couple weeks until I post another video. And thank you again for watching. Subscribe.